Hey, this is Alexei, and welcome. This is an Ace5 Studio tutorial. If you don't know me, go check out my YouTube. I have lots of useful tutorials. But one of the most annoying things in cinema when working with text is that when you change the text, like you have it named welcome text welcome, so you know you can select them easily here when you have lots of text. And when you change it to say get out of the internet, it usually you have to change it in two places. But look, now it changes automatically, and even adds it to the little text thing. So let's go see how to do this quickly.
Need rigs. Ace5 Studios has rigs.
Good. Let's get a little text spline, text object. Now, I also like my objects to be centered, almost always centered. I don't know. Let's get some font. Stick with Arial Black for now. And let's type welcome. Now, also I usually bevel my fonts because I'm going to use this as our default font, as our default font objects. Instead of this thing, we're going to use this, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So let's go caps, give it just a bit of bevel. There you go. I feel like this is what you want your default text to look like anyway. And now the XPresso part. XPresso. By the way, you can get the old, here you notice I didn't use the Shift-C. Didn't use the Shift-C commander. I just used the old one because, I mean, honestly, now they're coming up about the same speed, but somehow I just prefer the old commander. And if you go Shift F12 and you go to commander, you can still see a legacy when it's here, so you can attach it to something. I just have it attached to tab, if you're curious. So yeah, let's drag in the text object, and let's drag it in twice. Because for the first one, we're going to use object, and we're going to just drag this text spline into this little red box here. This is going to output the text spline. And for the next one, we go to basic and name, and we drag into this little blue box. Now, if we just drag this into here, it'll just copy whatever you write here. So if you write welcome SSSSSS, then it'll add that. But we want to add it so it's a text object, so it's easy to search, for example, right? So we go math. I know it's confusing why we use math for text, but that's the way it is. And then in math here, instead of data type real, we go string. And then we go input 1, text, semicolon space. And then we drag this into the second one. So input 2, you'll see it disappears here because now the second one's being driven by this. And then drag this into here. And ta-da! We're done. Convenient, right? And the secret how to get this guy every time you want to make text is you go to your asset browser. You should watch, by the way, the full tutorial I have on the asset browser on my channel. But here I have a special folder called Ace5. And what you do is you can just drag this guy into here and go OK. And it'll be here now. And this one, you can set it as a custom icon. Where do we? It's this little button here, yes. And so here now it just has this, but let's go make it just a W for a second. Zoom in. And let's make it blue, just so it fits in a bit more. And drag it here. And generate preview. Okay. Copy preview to clipboard. From clipboard, there it is. So what you want to do is you want to get this, and you want to make a background object. So let's get a plane, rotate it carefully, move it behind it. You rotate it, make it bigger. And what you want to do is you want to go like this and make another object. Let's copy this one, and let's get the color to be this gray here. No, sorry, not this gray, because that's the background we want. And drag it onto the plane. And we have that color management stuff that I do not approve of. Because I think even if we press render now, that's kind of close, but that's not it. Also, we want to disable our reflectance here. We don't want that. So to get the color correct, we have to go Control D, we have to go color management, we have to select change render, so we have to go to legacy, press OK. There we go. Now the color, I think, matches as well much better. That seems about right. Oh, what do they do? It was going so well. Seems almost the correct color. Anyway, I recommend making icons with something other than Cinema 4D, but you can Quickly, let's go change this to 720 in our render settings and zoom in, click render. Let's just go copy and then update from clipboard. There we go. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not going to match. The thing is, you can make icons yourself if you want. We're going to drag this guy right into here. Yes, that's definitely wrong color. We're going to drag this in here. And now, whenever we need a text, we can go boom, and we have our welcome text. And it's all set up. Very convenient. And again, if you want this to persist between multiple versions of C4D, have a look at my database tutorial. It will show you how to make sure that you have a common database throughout all your installs, and it saves and syncs stuff. So for those who stick around, I did get the colors right. They seem to change this in every version. So basically what I did is in the render settings, you want to make sure this is your legacy render space. Then in your render, I use standard render because making icons, you have to make them particularly fancy. So switch to standard and then make sure that you're using, I made a standard material, just the basic one. I turned off color and I turned on luminance, and probably should turn off reflectance as well. And then with the luminance one, I selected this color. And now when I render, it's the right color, as you can see. And then when I go edit and copy and I paste it in here, I get the right one. See, and it matches up. So there you have it. That's the secret, is use the standard render and change that color settings to legacy RGB. And that gets you there.
And remember, if you need any more characters, we have a bunch of stuff on ace5studios.com. All these characters are animation ready, rigged, have materials, are fully customizable, and you can use them in your own commercial projects. We also have more stuff here, like some free rigs you can try out. We have character building kits. We have packs of simpler characters for infographics and infomercials and whatever it is you're making. There's kids. There's also some animals there, so go check it out. You won't be sorry.